Hello, Big Reds, and welcome to Unit 2, Transformational Geometry. So, we're going to start with Unit 2, Learning Target 1. I'd like you to write this down if you can. I've actually included the learning target and the success criteria, and I'm going to tell you about that. So, first of all, Learning Target 1, I can identify and draw translations of geometric figures by using the formula xy goes to x plus or minus a, comma, y plus or minus b to translate the figures in the coordinate plane. What does that mean? Well, we're going to have something called a success criteria. Success criteria basically says this. At the end of this video, you should be able to go from a rule to a graph and from a graph to a rule. Okay? So again, looking at something like this, you should be able to take this to make a graph of it. And you should go from a graph to make something like this a rule. All right, so we're in the, we're talking about more like translations right now. Now you're probably wondering how they relate to transformations. So I have a thinking map I'd like you to write down. So please write down. This is going to help us throughout the entire unit, okay? So we have, in transformations, we have four major ones. Translations, which is like a slide. A rotation, which is like a turn. A reflection, which is like a flip. And a dilation was changes size, not shape. Okay? And if you're thinking about these three, there's a couple things, or actually there are four of them, but three of them have special properties. These three are all what are called isometries, which means they don't change size or shape. Don't change size or shape. Okay? And then also, we'll get a little more advanced. We can combine these two. We can combine two or more of these, two or more, into composition of transformations. Composition transformation. So what does that mean? That means maybe doing a translation, the rotation, reflection, something like that. So these can be used all the time, everyday life. Okay, so let's go back to our learning target. We're talking about translations today. Translation. So first of all, I'm going to get out a sheet of graph paper. Okay? I'm going to make a graph, so please draw x and y axis. This is how I drew mine right here. And I'm going to make a shape and try to make the vertices of the shape on even points. So what do I mean by that? Each one of these lines is 1. Each one of these going up is 1. So where these lines intersect, keep them at those points. Okay, so I'm going to make myself a triangle. Put my coordinate there, which is 2, 1. And I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see that a little bit better. Okay. I'll go down here. We'll go to 6, 2. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's not 6. That's 5, 2. And put a point up here. This is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 7. Oh, sorry. This is 4, 7. Over 4, up 7. I'm going to connect those and make myself a triangle. So hopefully you're doing this with me. Please write this down. It's important. Okay, the first thing we want to do is we want to go from a rule to a graph. Okay, so we're going to start with our shape. This shape right here is what's called a pre-image. Okay, pre means before, right? So pre-image. So I'm going to label these points. This will be A, B, and C. And I'm going to make a rule. My rules are going to start with X comma Y. And they're going to tell me how I'm going to be changing X or Y. All right? And for translations, we're just adding or subtracting. So I'm going to start with adding. I'm going to say X plus 7, comma, Y minus 1. And this is going to be my rule. So what do I need to do? First of all, I'm going to take all these points and I'm going to translate them individually. So I'm going to take A, which is 2, 1, B, which is 5, 2, and C, which is 4, 7. And I'm going to apply these rules to them. All right, now, so I'm going to focus just on this for a minute. Now, when I change them, I change how the letter looks. So if I'm translating something, I'm going from A, I'm going to change it to A prime, B prime, and C prime. This thing over the top, this means prime. Okay. Now, I'm going to take each of these points and add or subtract what I need to. So if I look at A, it says to add 7 to the X. So I have 2 plus 7 gives me 9. Down here, for the Y, I have 1. Tells me to subtract 1 from the Y. So I take 1 minus 1 to give me 0. All right, I'm going to do the same thing with B. I'm going to take B, 5 plus 7 is 12, and 2 minus 1 is 1. And with C, 4 plus 7, which is 11, 7 minus 1, which is 6. All right, so that's what I did. I just applied the rule to these points. Now I'm going to make a graph. I'm going to graph. A prime is 9 comma 0, so I go over 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. This is going to be A prime. Okay. B is going to be 12 comma 1, so this is 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. This is B prime. And C prime is 11 comma 6. So go over 11 up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is C prime. Now I'm going to connect those points together. Okay, and you can see this is a translation. Which way did the translation go? Well, it went to the right and it went down. Because I added 7 to the X, I went 7 to the right and 1 down. So I went from here to here. Okay, you notice that this is an isometry. It didn't change size or shape. Okay, and this is actually, this original shape is called the pre-image. This after shape is called the image. The image is the after. Pre is the before. So it goes from pre-image to the image. You can always tell the second one, second figure has these little dashes which are called primes. Okay, so this is how you go from a rule to a graph. Okay, Now we're going to go next from a graph to a rule. All right, so I flip my paper over and I'm making another graph, another coordinate plane, x and y axis. Okay, now I'm going to make two shapes here. So if you could please make the shapes with me, that'd be great. I'm going to stick with triangles. Let's see. Point here, and a point here. And I'm going to connect those. Okay, and this is the point, I'm going to call them A, B, and C again. This is the point -3, 1. I'll call that A. This is the point -1, 3. I'll call that B. This is the point 4, 5, 6, 7, up 3, so -7, 3. This is my C. Okay, and this is, again, my pre-image. Okay. All right, now I'm going to make the same shape, but I'm going to make it in a different position now. I'm going to connect those dots. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see this a little better now. Okay, so this is going to be my A prime. This is going to be my B prime, and this is going to be my C prime. I've got to figure out the points, coordinates. So B prime is over 1, 2, 3, 4, down 2. So it's -4, -2. A prime is over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down 1, 2, 3, 4. So -6, -4. C prime's over 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, down 2. So it's -10, -2. So now the second part of that success criteria is we want to go from a graph to a rule. I want to go from a graph to a rule. Okay? So you could take any of these points it'll work for. So let's look at A. Write down the coordinates for A, -3, 1. Write down the coordinates for A prime, -6, -4. And I want to make a rule that's telling me what those points are doing. Well, obviously, it's going down and to the left, right? So I'm going to start with x, y. This is my rule. Oh, my pen's going out on me here. What's the deal with that? Okay, let's try another pen here. Much better. Okay, so we're going from -3 to -6. What did we do here? Looks like we're going down. How much further down are we going? Well, we're going down 3 more, aren't we? If you check on the graph, we're going down. No, I'm sorry, we're not going down. We're going to the left. I'm sorry. That's my bad. Sorry. This is the x coordinate. We're going from -3 to -6. That means we're going to the left 3. So if you check on the graph, we're going 1, 2, 3 to the left. So how is that going to affect the x-axis? X-axis is x coordinate is going 3 to the left. So it's going to be x minus 3. Okay? Now, y coordinate, this is what I was trying to talk about just a moment ago. I'm going from 1 to negative 4. So I'm going down. Looks like I'm going down 5, right? So from A, let's check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I did go down 5. This is going to be y minus 5. This is going to be our rule. Now let's say you're not sure if you did your rule correctly. Let's check another point. So let's look at B. This is to check. Let's look at coordinates of B. B is negative 1, 3, right? Now to get B prime, it tells me I have to subtract 3 from the x. So negative 1 minus 3 is going to be negative 4. And y is 3. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So the coordinates for B prime, negative 4, negative 2? You bet they are. So this is our correct rule. So again, we went from a graph to a rule. So recapping, did a translation. We went from a rule, had 3 original points, and we used the rule to make 3 new points, like we did up here, rule to graph. And we went from the graph, we knew these, and we had to make our own rule. So those are the 2 things that you'll have to be able to do in doing translations. All right? Well, I'm about ready to stop the video, so hopefully you had a wonderful time listening and paying attention, and talk to you later. Go Big Reds!